Hello, welcome to another edition of Between Two Owls. I'm your host, Tom Price, and with us today is Professor Dan Strongin, chemistry professor. Thanks so much for joining us today.
My pleasure.
So, where'd you grow up, Dan?
I grew up I was born in Arlington, Massachusetts, actually, while my father was doing a postdoctoral stint at Lincoln Labs. But I did, at when I was 2 years old, we moved to Long Island, New York, and that's really where I grew up. My father was a physicist at Brookhaven National Lab.
Awesome. What town did you live in Long Island?
Center Moriches. So it's on the South Shore near the Great South Bay. So a beautiful area, and sailed a lot as a kid.
Oh, cool.
So it was a fantastic place to grow up. No complaints.
What else did you do as a kid? Play any sports or musical instruments?
I did. I played. I still love sports. I played a lot of sports in high school, junior high school, baseball.
What'd you play? Baseball?
I played baseball for a little bit, although I broke my thumb, and track coach recruited me, and actually cross country coach at the time, and then ended up running cross country. It turned out I was quite good at cross country and track, so I used to run, cross country and run the mile. So that's most of the athletic. My athletics was pretty much restricted to running in high school.
Did you have any nicknames as a kid?
No, just Danny, but not that I like that, but I like Dan much better, and Daniel even better than that. So.
And do you have any siblings?
I do. I have two siblings. One sister who is 6 years younger than me, and then I have a brother who is 3 years older than me and just retired. So I'm envious of him.
What would they say about you?
What would they say? I'm very focused. Probably studied too much. Probably more than my siblings. But I was very focused as a kid, so I always knew what I wanted to do. A little too serious, probably. I had fun, but probably if you ask my brother and sister, they'd probably say I was a little too serious.
And where did you go for undergrad?
Undergraduate, I was at Washington University in St. Louis. So I got to see the Midwest.
And were you chemistry from the get-go?
What's that?
Did you major in chemistry from the get-go?
I did. I went there actually because they gave me some money, and they have a fantastic medical school. And at the time, I was thinking of perhaps going into medicine, but never really went anywhere. I'm not even sure I took a biology course. I just went for chemistry, and that was it. I love that.
Did you have any mentors there?
I did. I had I did undergraduate research for a few years with Peter Gaspar, who's actually a well-known physical organic chemist. But he mentioned, it was certainly my junior and senior year. Helped me pick out graduate schools. A great influence as an undergraduate, for sure.
And where'd you go for grad school?
Grad school, I went to University of California, Berkeley. So I went even further west. So, grew up on Long Island, college in the Midwest, and then graduate school in the West Coast. So, and that was probably the four best years of my life. Fantastic graduate school.
Cool. And how'd you end up or when did you come to Temple?
Actually, so I did a postdoc after my PhD, and that was 1 year actually at Almaden Research Center in San Jose, California. And actually, then I came east and took a job as an assistant professor at SUNY Stony Brook, now known as Stony Brook University. And that was close to home, actually. That was only like 20 miles away from my parents. But then took this associate professor position at Temple in 1996, and I got to Stony Brook in '89, and I've been here ever since. So glad I came here. Fantastic. I've just loved every year at Temple University.
What do you like most about your job?
I like working with students. I really enjoy the teaching aspect of the job. Um, typically research active faculty teach one course, but I would never want to buy myself out or I just love that. It takes my mind off the research. I love interacting with undergraduates. I think it keeps me young too. So I really like that. But research I love, right? So most of my time is doing research. I went to a university to do research, but the teaching is a tremendous part. I really love doing it. Can't
And
say
what kind of research are you doing?
we are doing. We have two projects going on. One is looking at putting little nanoparticles, precious metal nanoparticles on protein structures to try to repurpose proteins to do some environmental chemistry. And we also have a project which is involved with splitting water, essentially with electricity. So developing materials where you can split water with at very little voltage and current. And why do you want to split water? You want to make hydrogen gas. And hydrogen you can use potentially as a fuel. So if you can split water in a cost-effective way, you can move to something called the hydrogen economy, where you can run things with hydrogen, which would
Very, very
be
cool.
great. Get us off fossil fuels.
And what do you like most about Temple students?
Temple students, I like I like the fact that a lot of students don't take anything for granted. A lot of kids are their first in their family to come to Temple. And a lot of them pick my brain for guidance. I love that. I love that aspect of it. And Temple students really work hard. It's a special breed of student, very motivated. It's a tremendous, it's been a tremendous ride so far.
Awesome. So I'm going to shift gears a little bit. What would you consider as your main fault?
My main fault. I second guess a lot of things. So that's certainly, well, that's probably a fault with a lot of people. But I a little OCD. So I try to, perhaps I waste too much time to try to make things a little too perfect. Never get there, but I attempt to, and I waste a lot of time doing it. So.
Do you have a significant other?
I do. I've been married for about 25 years now.
Awesome.
So,
Congrats.
a wife, and I have 2 kids. So
how old are your children?
So my son is 22, and he's a Temple graduate. So
Awesome.
he just graduated this past spring. Just got a job, so that's good.
Good.
And my daughter just started she's a freshman at Denison University in Granville, Ohio. So two great kids. I can't, my wife, it was all my wife's doing. So, but
good answer.
Yeah.
What do you value most in your friends?
Honesty. And I think that's really critical. And a little sense of humor is always good too. So, but yeah, I mean, I think people who keep me on the straight and narrow is I got a lot of friends who do that. So I think I really like that.
What do you like most to do in Philly?
In Philly, so I do love, well, in Philly. So I love watching Philadelphia sports.
Fine, I'll take it.
Yeah. So my son is a sports fanatic. So I was one of the kids who like sports, but my son likes it too much, perhaps, sports. But what do I like doing in Philly? I like we like going in restaurants in Philly are tremendous, and we certainly make use of the museums and the cultural offerings of Philadelphia. So so we do take advantage. We come from we started out on Long Island, 60 miles away from New York City, which of course New York City is a tremendous place, but it was so difficult getting into New York City. and a lot different here. We can get into Philadelphia. We live in the suburbs, but we can get into Philadelphia really easily. So that's great.
One more question about that. If they made a a movie about your life, who would play you?
Oh wow, that's an interesting.
De Niro, come on. Who else?
Wow. Hmm. Wow, that's a stumper. I just thought of Tom Hanks for some reason. I'm not sure why that is. Maybe maybe I was thinking Castaway or something like that.
All right, so we're going to do something called rapid fire response. I'm going to ask you, I'll give you 2 words. You just tell me your preference, and you can say pass also.
Okay.
Tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Morning or night?
Night.
Dark or milk chocolate?
Milk.
Offense or defense?
Oh, offense.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Bert or Ernie?
Pass.
Half full or half empty?
Definitely half full.
Hot or cold?
Hot.
Eagles or Phillies?
Eagles. Eagles.
Awesome. Thanks so much for being on the show today. Really greatly appreciate it. Nice talking to you.